Today we profile Peter Pretorius, an ambassador for the poor. Peter was born and lived in South Africa with his wife Anne. He was a businessman. He was a Formula One race car driver, and he was a tobacco farmer, very successful. In 1984, famine in Mozambique kills more than 300,000 people in 4 months. 75,000 people per month died of starvation in Mozambique for 4 months. One day in 1984, Peter decides he's going to go to Mozambique to a feeding center to check it out. He has somebody fly him there in a little plane, and the man was just going to fuel up and come right back that night. The man didn't come back for 10 days. No phones. His wife Anne thought he died. No contact for 10 days. Peter gets to this feeding center. There's 30,000 people and no food. One of the first things that happens is a mom comes up to him with a little infant son. "Sir, would you hold my son while I try to go find some water?" And while she's gone, this little infant starves to death in Peter's arms. And the mom comes back, and Peter's got to give the mom her dead son. "Jack, I saw hundreds of kids starve to death every day in that feeding center for 10 days. There was no food, there was no water. 30,000 people. Jack, today, somebody starves to death every 8 seconds on Earth. Friends, that's 10,800 people starved to death each and every day. Not goes to bed hungry, starves to death. 10,800 a day. Peter says, for 10 days, I'm talking to God, I'm screaming at God, "Lord, get me out of here. Why did you have me come? What's wrong with you? Why you let these children be born? Are you even up there?" And on the 10th day, he hears God tell him, "Peter, do what you can to feed them, and I'll help you." And thereupon, he and Anne started JAM, Joint Aid Management, which 40 years later is feeding almost 1 million people each and every day in 7 African countries. "Jack, if you give me $50 a year, that's 1 Starbucks a month. I can feed somebody for $50, feed them every day, $50 a year." Joint Aid Management. Nearly 1 million people are being fed each and every day. Peter Pretorius, an ambassador for the poor. He told me, "Jack, I've learned much more from the poor than I ever did from the rich." And I trust God totally. Matthew 6:33. "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." In 2009, he wrote his philosophy of life. Life really begins when you go beyond yourself, taking on what seem to be impossible challenges for the purpose of assisting others. Fulfillment comes as a result of seeing lives changed by what you have done. Peter Pretorius, founder, CEO, Joint Aid Management. That's the story of Peter Pretorius. Thanks for watching. Until we meet again, please remember that with God, anything is possible. Spawn.